can undo what's been done.
SuperDads, here we are. We are with the wonderful Cheryl, who has facilitated the Circle of Security course. And so we're here, and I just wanted to interview her very quickly and ask her some questions about the program. Cheryl, thank you very much for joining us.
Okay, you're welcome.
So Cheryl, I've done a Triple P program before.
Yeah.
What I want to ask you for starters, I think quite a lot of dads may have heard of that, very popular program. Circle of Security I hadn't heard of before, and I asked you what the difference was. Can you share what that answer was?
Well, the Circle of Security is not about changing behaviours and learning tips and techniques about what do I do when the child does this particular behaviour. It's about meeting a genuine need, and the belief is that if you can meet that need, the behaviour will change. So it's about building on the parents' relationship with their child, so they start to understand what is this need, this behaviour that they're showing, what's the need beneath it, and then how do I respond sensitively to that that's going to meet that child's need, and eventually you'll see a change in the behaviour.
Good. So much of what we discussed today was around this Circle of Security. Yeah. And just to have a look at this, can you explain, I'll sort of, I'd love to obviously, if it's possible, share this with the dads. But can you explain what we're looking at here?
Okay, so what it is it's just a map, and it's a basic map of parents being able to follow this to get an understanding of the top half of the circle is where the child goes out to explore, and it's wanting the parent to watch over them, delight in them, help them and enjoy in them. And then the bottom half is the need, and it's usually, I need you to protect me, comfort me, delight in me, or organise my feelings. The hands are the parents, so you need to be able to let your child explore, but you need to be able to be there when they come back in. And that way the child feels that sense of security, which is going to help with their development. Yeah.
Okay, very good. And guys, I really like this as well. This says almost everything I need to know about supporting security in 25 words or less. And it says, always be bigger, stronger, wiser and kind. And whenever possible, follow my child's need. Whenever necessary, take charge. So I wrote a couple of notes, and it was bigger and stronger to feel safe, wise and kind to be tender and offer emotional security and confidence. Whenever necessary, take charge, have boundaries that are clear, communicate them well and be consistent with them. So I love where this is going in actually really responding to their need, and obviously that takes strength, it takes being very wise in sort of learning to understand that need, and also being very kind and patient and calm. So one of the things that came up for me today was, as a dad, getting very angry and frustrated at the behaviour of the child, and rather than responding in a calm manner, allowing myself to argue and to fight and to yell, and how reflecting on how I responded to my parents when they yelled at me, and how my kids respond to me, it doesn't get me anywhere when I raise my voice. So it's been really good to immediately reflect on that. And I've been doing that for probably, a little while now, but it doesn't do anything for the child for me to raise my voice as much as I feel like it should.
Yeah, and that's one of the things in the program. The very first thing we say is, it's not about parents feeling guilty about their parenting. We don't expect people to be perfect and get it right all the time. But I think if parents can start to understand it, they realise that if they're able to respond in a sensitive way, part of the time it's better than nothing. Like, we're only human, we're not perfect, we have stuff going on, we get tired, we get sick, we, you know, have other stuff happening in our lives. So it's hard to be able to respond really perfect and sensitively every single time, let's face it, we're only human. But if you can see that if this child's needing something right now, if I'm able to stay calm and try to understand what it is and give them what's needed, you'll see it settle. But when we lose it and get angry or snap,
Yep.
you see an escalation of the behaviour and it goes around that pattern again, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Very good. And I had just a couple of other notes, which I'll share very quickly. See what you think. So, kids' needs are simple, even though parenting isn't. You said that today, and I had to write that down.
That's very true.
And it was their behaviours are linked to a need. Once again, just to reiterate again, we need to be strong, calm, patient and understanding, to not let them walk over us and get their own way when it's not appropriate, but to aim to meet their needs as much as possible.
You have really good relationships, experiences in infancy and childhood. It's going to take you on for the rest of your life. It's going to influence how you behave with people in other relationships.
Yeah.
So if children are going to have good relationships with their parents, they'll be able to take that on to friends, partners, and it does. And we see, that's why you see a lot of intergenerational patterns that parents struggle with. Yeah.
And the other thing that came up, it was a frustration of one of the women. We were talking about dobbing and you know, violence towards siblings and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I wrote down, dobbing is better than kids dealing with the situation in a violent way. Encourage them to come to you when a sibling misbehaves. So as frustrating as it can be when we're busy to have, you know, have our children coming to us, you know, dobbing the other sibling in, it's better than the alternative, isn't it? In terms of long-term behaviour as well.
Yeah, and then also I wonder, what is the need of the dobber? You know, is it they're telling on the other child for doing something, but maybe the child that's doing the dobbing is the so-called good child that never gets in trouble, and their way of getting their needs met from you is to be the one that comes and tells, you know what I mean? There's all reasons for even that. Yeah.
And the final thing I wrote down, guys, was we need to learn to trust and share our emotions instead of letting them overwhelm us. And guys, these SuperDad, the SuperDad group, we are here to, you know, to learn off each other, to have a place where we can trust and share our emotions instead of letting it get the better of us. And I know that Cheryl is doing this interview because, you know, I shared a little bit of what I'm doing, and she's supportive of it. So
I think it's great, because I think dads are often forgotten in the picture, aren't they? And it's the more and more research has come out how important the father role is. So I think with dads being part of this and understanding this, wow, what a great outcome for your kids.
So, guys, on behalf of you, I'm going to thank Cheryl and Donna for having me today. I'm looking forward to next week.
Thank you.
All right, have a great night.
Thanks.